When I was younger, it was a lot easier to live in the moment. Nowadays, I have to sit back, breathe, and remind myself to feel alive. And even though I think I take enough time to do this throughout my day-to-day life, I can't shake the feeling that I'm probably going to leave this world with a few regrets. Like, why didn't I have enough confidence to live my life how I wanted to sooner? And why did I think going into an active mob farm to fix a one-block hole wouldn't end in the deletion of my first Minecraft hardcore world? I spent well over 100 hours in that world. It was the only thing that kept me sane during the beginning of the thing that shall not be named. Frankly, for someone who willingly decided to play Minecraft in this mode, I was not ready for the mix of emotions that I felt for a solid week after seeing my pride and joy crumble on a Tuesday afternoon. And yet, when it was all said and done, when those emotions of anger, frustration, and sadness finally passed, all that was left was the drive to do it all again. And again. And again, but on an island. And again. And I wouldn't trade that for the world. This is how a block game changed my view on the concept of living. This is the humanity hidden in Minecraft hardcore. When I was younger, it was a lot easier to find motivation to create. Nowadays, I have to sit back and wait for the pressure of not doing enough to overcome my executive dysfunction. And even though by all measurable accounts, the work that I do is objectively highly skilled and labor-intensive, I can't shake the feeling that I'm not doing enough. So sometimes, I escape to a world in which I am.
Hey, what's up everybody? It's Kapow here. Welcome back. As you can see, progress. Although slow, although painful, we are beginning to make huge progress in the build.
From the very first tree you punch, to the diamonds you find in a massive cave, to the house you build on that plateau you found sandwiched between a mountain and an ocean. No matter what you do in Minecraft, you are making progress. There's no reason to do nothing. Why even be on the game if you're not going to finish that enchanting room, right? It's easy for me, exceptionally so. I feel in control of what I want to do. I can set goals for future projects and have steady progress on them for weeks. Suddenly, this weight on the top of my skull isn't stopping me from doing things. It's stopping me from not doing things. My time in that world, while functionally infinite if played with a small bit of precaution, feels so limited. Limited in a way that my real life does not, which is ironic considering I'm actually mortal no matter what. What causes this dichotomy, and what can we learn from it? I wish I had a simple answer to that question, but in reality, this question is a question within a question within a question. In order to answer it, you would have to know what drives people to be creative, what drives them to work, what drives them to like or hate that work. Where I live, the United States of America, our answer is pretty brutal. People only work out of selfishness and will do anything to get above people of whom they have no personal connection with. This country literally makes jokes about money not buying you happiness because our idea of success, the American dream, is purely materialist. Unfortunately, or fortunately depending on how you look at it, when this ideology is implanted into Minecraft hardcore, it sort of breaks down in isolation. You don't compete against anyone in Minecraft hardcore, and this theory is predicated on group psychology and not necessarily how individuals will act if they were truly alone. But in its defense, most hardcore players do play like little one-percenters. What other reason would somebody make a pumpkin farm other than materialism? To be honest, how do you not have a materialist mindset when playing a single-player survival game where you own your own means of production? And this brings up an interesting point. There is no morality in Minecraft hardcore. Materialism as a priority is a negative in real society because we live on a planet with limited resources to go around to billions of people who need it. Minecraft is different though. It has functionally unlimited resources. Materialism is kind of the point of survival games in general if you think about it. That's how you make a replayable game. The amount of work that's put in is almost directly correlated with how much stuff is obtained, and this drives players to create in order to be rewarded with the sweet dopamine hit on completion of a time-consuming task. So is that the answer? Minecraft Hardcore shows us humanity's materialist desires? Is this really all just an Orwellian dystopia where we distract ourselves from owning nothing by quote-unquote owning things on a light-up box? That's probably part of it, no doubt, but I still think we're at the surface level here. Yeah, games are a fun distraction from real life. What insightful knowledge that nobody has ever thought of before. But you're not here for the surface level crap. This is K-Lo, where we talk about the parts of Minecraft nobody else does, and where I have a different voice every video. I just hope I find it eventually. But that's besides the point. What I'm about to imply is a little out there, to say the least. But I implore you to have an open mind, and even if you disagree with it, I hope it at least makes you think. So let's just take a deep breath and explore this topic together. But before we do that, you should consider subscribing. To be honest, I don't really upload here often anymore. I'm too busy with my animated series, link in description. But when I do, it's always something I'm really passionate about. Call it a surprise upload, like Scott the Woz, but more controversial, and more based on the fact that my retail job cut me down to 20 hours a week. A college student, 20 hours a week. How am I supposed to afford that? Anyways, back to the video. You know, when I was younger, it was a lot easier for me to dream. Nowadays, I have to sit back and remind myself to be realistic with my goals. It wasn't a problem as a kid because I didn't actually have to work to achieve those dreams until I grew up. I could say I wanted to be a paleontologist or a marine biologist, or say I wanted to single-handedly animate my own series, but I didn't have to actually do it. To me, my future was guaranteed. I could set it aside for whatever I wanted because my time as a kid felt functionally infinite. And thinking about what would happen after I grew up filled me with excitement and purpose that I would never have to fill in my eyes. But Minecraft Hardcore is different. When you die in Minecraft Hardcore, it's over. Like, really over. You will never interact with that world again. You will never exist in that world again. And if you do, it's only as a spectator who is powerless to change and can only watch as time marches forward in your forever stagnant world. Personally, when I play Minecraft Hardcore, my time feels limited, but I don't think about dying. Like how you don't think about the end of vacation on the very first day of vacation, even though you feel the excitement because you know how limited your time is. There's just no reason to. When there's nothing to look forward to after death, it makes every single moment feel more important, limited. Interestingly, most people don't have this same feeling in real life. The concept of immortality after death, be it reincarnation, heaven, hell, etc., allows people to procrastinate thinking about what they want to achieve as a mortal human being, and instead thinking about what they want to achieve as an immortal soul. It rips an intrinsic segment of us into pieces and makes us somewhat content with not living our mortal lives to the fullest, or instead, hating on others on a mortal plane for what will happen to them on an immortal plane in their interpretation of a proposed future. Now, I'm not saying that religion is bad for humanity. Don't get me wrong. Religious people, like your average Minecraft survival players, can accomplish a lot. Wow, that sentence has never ever been said before. I'm not saying that a belief in the afterlife, or lack thereof, is the end-all be-all of productivity. But there is a noticeable difference between the playstyles of survival players compared to hardcore players. And I'm sure a lot of it comes down to the fact that overly dedicated players would automatically be predisposed to playing a quote-unquote harder version of the game. But anecdotally, all of my best worlds have been on hardcore, and I'm sure many players share the same sentiment. I believe a considerable reason why so many people procrastinate their dreams in real life while being ultra-productive in video games is because they feel how limited their time is in a way that we just don't in real life. I personally haven't thought about my own mortality in a long time, and I go to church every Sunday. I know, considering the arguments I just made, that might have thrown you for a loop. To be human is to die one day. To describe Minecraft Hardcore is strictly and only to define its end. And if an end is a large piece of our humanity, a part of me wishes that it ends like those old Minecraft Hardcore worlds did. Maybe I have dreams that, once fulfilled, will give me that feeling of completeness, and I won't feel the need to exist forever. It's no coincidence that my first reaction to losing my Season 1 and Season 2 hardcore worlds was a half laugh. I went farther than I had plans for, and thus my first reaction wasn't pain. On the contrary, when I lost my hardcore island, it was in the middle of the biggest project I have ever done in hardcore Minecraft, a project that will never see the light of day. And I was mad. It doesn't sound like I'm screaming in the audio, but trust me, this woke up my whole house.
What?
What's scary is, if we were to take those reactions and extend them to real life, that's basically confirming that the people who don't get to follow their dreams might die angry. And if there's something I'm scared of, it's wasting my time. I did that a lot in my years as a teen. I'm saying that like I'm not still a teen, but I digress. That's why I always strive to be my best self. And it's sad that a lot of people don't want to, don't have time, or are so preoccupied trying to secure their place in the afterlife that they barely stop to think about what their dreams are as a mortal human being. Not to undermine the seriousness of the claim I just made, but they live their whole life with the totem of undying in their offhand, and even that won't stop what's statistically inevitable. I say this as somebody who also has this totem of undying in their left hand. I've spent this entire video trying to explain how Minecraft Hardcore shows us part of our humanity, but I haven't really talked about how it affects my humanity specifically. Someone who is a walking contradiction, a person who doesn't even begin to have the answers to all the big questions. I live my life to pursue my dreams. There's nothing spiritual about it. Almost every religion says that I'm in for a lot of suffering when I die. What I'm trying to say is that I think it's time for me to break down my Minecraft Hardcore story. Minecraft Hardcore Season 4 is my best world. It started off fairly normal. It had been so long that I'd forgotten what it felt like to start a new world. I was born with a full set of hair on my head. As time went on, it was the most basic life there was, a ravine near my house, a working class family, diamonds exposed in a mine shaft, a 1-week vacation per year thanks to my grandma's timeshare. Then it wasn't so normal. I thought I could fight a raid, but things went a little haywire. My mom never told me I was diagnosed with autism at the age of 3. But I got so many totems. It was kind of epic. I also told my kindergarten teacher that my favorite shape was a dodecahedron. I decided I could chill and work on a few fun projects in the world while I was on top of the game. I decided that I didn't like advanced classes all that much, so I pretended to be mediocre at everything school-related for the next 10 years. More like, to this day actually. That's not a flex. I don't know how to push myself academically anymore. One day, I had an idea to make an island chain in the sky as my new giant base with lots of farms. These notes kept forming in my head. Music was a machine that could be broken down into simple parts. I spent so much time creating multiple islands that took me multiple tries to get right. I loved to draw and write, but I wasn't very good at it. My 150-page book kind of went off the rails after I introduced legends and superpowers to a power system that was completely grounded beforehand. Throughout this time, though, ever since I got those totems, I used them to protect myself. I went through so much effort to make golden apples easily craftable so I could eat them at all times. I got really good at masking my true feelings. But I only started truly creating, living, when I stopped letting that fear control me. I let the fear motivate me, because being scared of your own mortality is the most human thing there is. I don't know what I'll do next in that hardcore world, if anything. I finally learned to live with all the parts of my being. Minecraft Hardcore, while just a stupid mode and a stupid game, taught me to believe like a theist, but live like an atheist. I live for myself and the people I care about. I live for my dream of creating shows and movies that give people chills, even if I'm not good at it yet. I live like there's nothing after I die, and contrary to popular belief, I didn't end up an axe murderer, although I'd be lying if I said my moral views still align with the religious text bar for bar. If there's one thing you'll take away from this, let it be this. You are human, and you are mortal. Pursuing your dreams is not a weight put onto you by society, it's a weight put onto you by yourself. Don't let that pressure control you. Let it motivate you to be your best self, and maybe one day you'll be able to look back and love the mortal life that you lived.
Everlasting dream.
Honestly, if you die again, I'm not watching any more of your streams.
I have a totem of undying. Like, I won't die stupidly. I mean, yes, I'll die eventually, obviously. But, like, I won't die from falling off a ledge. Huh? We did it! We did it! We've done it! Oh! That was my last potion of strength. Oh!
All of my affections, I'll give them all. And I'll be here for you.
Oh my god. You have to be kidding me.
Always be for you.
You have to be kidding me.
So come
Oh, I hate this game so much.
Seeing my health bar go that low, scary. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like, I don't want to lose this world to a freaking wither skeleton. Like, I'm good.
I used to say it a lot. It's just like, it's a weird way of saying what a drag.
living so merrily.
Goodbye! That's a good way to end it.